How's everything going, guys? Welcome back. It is Thursday, November 6th. I know it's been a couple days since rankings came out. I apologize for that. Should have done it probably yesterday. Couldn't cover it on the show, but we're going to talk about it here. Kind of get it done with hopefully a 3-minute span here, and we're going to go right through. So expect me to talk really fast. Try to keep up the best you can. But obviously, we're going to go from, I say, 1 to 10, Ohio State to Notre Dame, kind of talk about each of things, and obviously Virginia and Memphis being those two teams that sneak in, and the reason for Texas and Oklahoma kind of being the first two out. But let's talk about it. Okay, defending national champions, the Ohio State Buckeyes. They have only played really Texas this year, and Texas, I mean, a lot of people are saying they don't really see them as a quality win, but Texas is kind of sneaking back into the playoffs here, obviously being one of the first teams out. So if someone slips up in the top 10, they are back in, essentially. Nothing you can say for Ohio State that makes them better than Indiana. Nothing that says that they are worse than Indiana. So it's kind of just a stagnant, stalemate here in the top two. So realistically, Ohio State, Indiana, you don't see them switching unless Ohio State completely shits the bed against a bottom tier opponent that they play the rest of the year. Say they lose to Michigan, obviously they'd fall out, but Michigan's also 21 here. Obviously, Indiana, we talked about them, have the win against Oregon. They're kind of only quality win this year. Nothing to really say that they're better than Ohio State. Nothing to say that Ohio State's worse than them. So we're just going to have to wait till the Big Ten Championship to see if they are compatible with being the number one seed. Obviously, Texas A&M, Alabama, the SEC, obviously, I think Alabama is definitely a better team than Texas A&M as of right now, having a quality win against number 5 Georgia currently in Athens at that between the hedges. So obviously Texas A&M has been rolling through their schedule. It's going to be really interesting to see how they play against Texas this year. Texas has been, kind of a subtle force that's been kind of building back up. We're going to see if Arch Manning has what it really takes to be a Manning, kind of live up to that name here late in the season. But obviously, top 4, nothing really debatable there. Top 5s, top 6, 7, 8. I know 7, 8 is going to switch this week because I believe in Lubbock, Texas, which is where BYU is going to play Texas Tech this week. You're going to be a little bit of shift. You're going to see a little bit of a shift there, but regardless, I think both these teams make the playoffs. Obviously, BYU is currently the Big 12 projected champion, the representation there. Obviously, Oregon, you can't really argue anything against them. They'd had the close loss to, or seemingly close loss to Indiana in Autzen Stadium in Eugene. But despite that, they kind of slithered their way back in despite dropping. Notre Dame, a lot of people are angry with them. Obviously, the kind of story of the week is Memphis not being anywhere in the bottom of the rankings. But I'd say despite that, Notre Dame really hasn't played anybody. They have, what would you call it? Quality losses against Miami and Texas A&M. So that kind of really keeps them in, and they're most likely going to make the playoffs since they don't play anybody. They don't play a conference game, so they're going to probably sneak in, unfortunately. But, even last year, a lot of people had the same narrative about them. They lost to NIU in an upset game, but they still made a national championship appearance. Texas A&M, Oklahoma, they're the first two out due to the fact that Virginia is currently the ACC representation in the playoffs. Obviously, Memphis being the AAC representation, not being ranked, then that's kind of where it comes down to it. Obviously, it's really a toss-up in the Group 5 right now. Obviously, we have North Texas, we have Tulane, we have Navy, we have USF, obviously Memphis. It's really going to come down to the wire there, and realistically, if USF wins out, I think that their quality wins kind of outweigh anybody else's, obviously beating North Texas by multiple scores. So I think that USF, as long as they can beat Navy and just win. Just win for Alex Golsh and the guys down there, and I'm really hoping that, that narrative continues today against UTSA. But other than that, I know a lot of fans are kind of down in this little area, 13, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, all the way down to 25 where Tennessee's at. They're all kind of really angry at Notre Dame right now, and a lot of really angry at, Memphis. Not really angry at Virginia. They've kind of really earned their spot up there, obviously. And it's going to be interesting to see how they play in a conference championship game, potentially against Louisville or Georgia Tech. But despite that, solid rankings for the most part. Nothing too absurd to point out here. But let's just hope that the AAC can kind of strengthen their resume. But other than that, I'll catch you guys next Monday here on Mic'd Up. Hope everybody has a great day, and go Bulls.